Dr. Wenstrup?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Gentlemen, I do appreciate you being here and having frank discussion with us today. Mr. Alderman, you mentioned that this deal is adequate. And frankly, I think it's far less than adequate. And when the notion of no deal, to me, is actually more adequate than the deal that is on the table. What we are doing today does more to keep us safe than what this deal does. And you mentioned Iranians writhing in pain, and I would like to point out, as a surgeon in Iraq, what writhing in pain looks like. And when you see an American soldier that has been hit by an IED provided by Iran, that is writhing in pain. And if they're writhing in pain, it's because of the actions of their government and their people. And I can't find anything since 1979 that would give us any indication that we should trust in this government and these people. You mentioned Rouhani. He is not the leader. Khomeini is, and he has publicly stated before and after this agreement that they will continue to be an adversary of the United States and attack the United States. This agreement allows them to be more capable of that. It enhances their opportunity for weapons to kill Americans. And the other thing that's been said is, it's this deal or war. I would like to ask you a question. What is war? Is war going to battle? Is that what war means to you? I'm just trying to get your opinion of what that statement might mean.
First, I don't agree with the idea that it's this agreement.
I'm asking a different question.
No, but I don't agree that I don't agree with the formulation it's this deal or war. I think it's this deal with the world behind us, or it's this deal with us sailing against the world, and I think that makes
Okay, let me point something out. You mentioned how cooperative Russia and China have been. They're not being threatened by this government. We are. Russia and China is not hearing death to Russia, death to China. It's a lot easier for them to be cooperative and to give in on this stuff. But I ask you the question, to you, this deal or war, what does war mean to you?
No, so you talked about the writhing in pain, and I know veterans, as I'm sure you do, and I live right behind Naval Medical Center, and I have seen unspeakable injuries, so I don't diminish that at all. I've also met Iranian veterans of the war with Iraq who they believe have been crippled for life by chemical weapons that the U.S. turned a blind eye to.
My question now, thank you very much for your comments on my comment. My question right now is, what do you conceive to be war? We have heard the statement, it's this deal or war. What do you perceive that as? Going to battle? What does that mean to you?
War can be any number of covert actions, overt actions, limited war, unlimited war, efforts to depose the government, efforts to punish the government. We could see any number of things with any number of people on our side and any number of people on their side. I think what we are sometimes missing about Iran, not that Iran is a democracy, but Iran has genuine politics. I think Iran has genuine politics. It's hard to be serious about the history of Iran since 1979, from Ayatollah Khomeini, who had dominant control because of his spiritual position, to Ayatollah Khamenei, who has much less of the gravitas that his leader did. He sort of got a cheap promotion up to being Ayatollah to make things work. It's a country of politics, and I think what the administration has tried to do is to see if there's something to unlock in the politics that will make Iran less of a threat. But I think the whole spectrum of war is available to us. The whole spectrum of war is available to the Iranians. I think we will win. I don't think the Iranians can beat us. But what does that look like?
Well, the point I'm trying to make is we have given up so much that down the road liberates the Iranians to do what they say they want to do, which is to kill Americans, okay? And so when it comes to war, there are other components. And I think that when we hear that statement coming from a high level in our government, people in America perceive that as going to battle. These gentlemen talked about it. I believe they understand all the components of war, which is diplomacy, military sometimes is a deterrent, often as a deterrent, like the Cold War, sanctions, which we are giving up, and sharing of intelligence and building a relationship with our allies that also look at this enemy as an adversary. And I'd like maybe you to comment on some of the other components of war that we could be using and are not, if you would.
Well, look, I think the question of deterrence is a very important question. And I think that
the idea that we had no choice but to make this deal does discount the role that deterrence plays in shaping the decisions of other countries, of adversaries. And I think that going forward, maintaining that deterrence is going to be awfully important to any successful U.S. policy in the region.
Thank you, and unfortunately, my time has expired.